Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ Bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Ārādhayo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Va Kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhur Matamidam Tatradharana Para. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Seve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for your kind association to read and hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam together. We are reading Canto 10 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled chapter 22, entitled Krishna Stole the Garments of the Gopis. And in that particular chapter, we are reading the second half, in which Krishna is glorifying the trees. So we read till text number 32 yesterday, where Krishna called out his friends.
33 Prabhuji, we read up to.
We read 33. Okay, perfect. We have to read from 34. So Krishna is calling out all his friends. Hey Stoka Krishna, hey Amsho, hey Sridama, Subalarjuna, Vishala, Vrishabha, Ojasvi, Deva Prishta, and Varuthapa, the 10 names we discussed yesterday. Very nice verse. And we also discuss about they are like great personalities who are living for others. Great personalities are always thinking about the welfare of others selflessly. So with that, let's move on to the next verse, which is text number 34. Patra pushpa phala chhaya mula valkala darubhi gandha niryasya bhashmashti tokmai kaman vitanvate. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace Abhicharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada disciples ki jai. These trees fulfill one's desires with their leaves, flowers, and fruits, their shade, roots, bark, and wood, and also their fragrance, sap, ashes, pulp, and shoots. Hare Krishna. So in this verse, Lord Krishna is talking about how the trees, what all are all the things which trees are giving us. It may seem very obvious, but sometimes it is so obvious that we forget it. Is it not? Everyone is breathing, but until we have a difficulty in breathing, we don't even realize that we are breathing, right? Is that true, Prabhu? Same with oxygen, right? Trees are providing fruits. These days, if we ask young children, they may not even know that these fruits and vegetables are coming from trees. They may say, oh, it's coming from the grocery store or Walmart or Publix or whatnot. But we may forget the real hand of God behind all this. and the mother nature, which includes the trees. So we must always be aware of the gifts of nature. They are giving their everything, their flowers, their leaves, their mula. Mula means root, kanda mula. Valkala. Valkala means bark. Yesterday we discussed the story of the giving tree. So what are all the things the tree is giving? Gandha. So many fragrance like sandalwood. Sandalwood tree. Another lesson from the sandalwood story I was recently hearing, that sandalwood, we may all have seen that stick of sandalwood or chandan, but until the chandan is rubbed against a coarse stone, it does not give its fragrance. So sometimes we may feel, why is this happening to me? Or it may feel like rubbing. And if we can remember the sandalwood, even if it is rubbed, it still gives its fragrance. Like Mar Khai Prem De. If someone throws a stone on the tree, on a mango tree, the tree will not do tit for tat. Mar Khai Prem De. You give me stone, I'll give you juicy mangoes. This is the tree, right? So Krishna is glorifying here the tree. Today, my dear friend Ashish is also joined. Hare Bol, Ashish, thank you.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji.
So we were together in college 10 years back in BITS, or 15 years back. By age, he's maybe 2-3 years younger to me, and but very, very sincere soul, and we were trying to be Krishna conscious at that time, and then we went on our paths, but it's the Prabhupada's mercy that we are talking again after almost 13 years or so. So he's working in London, UK now.
Yeah, that's right. It's almost 10 years or more than that. But Prabhuji, I was just like sharing that message in the chat when you said that we realize the value of something when we don't have it. That's exactly what I was thinking of Indian food living abroad. Once we go back home in India, we start looking at the same plate of 2 rotis and some sabzi with so much delight and so much respect. And I think this is exactly, sorry, to add some humor to the chat, sorry. But
No,
yeah.
this is very powerful. Actually, yesterday only I was hearing about this. One time, Gaur Gopal Prabhu and his Vishishashtakam Prabhu, they went to Russia for preaching purposes. You heard that?
Yes, I've heard this, yeah.
Yes, I was hearing that they went to Russia, and then they thought that, there are devotees there, there'll be nice prasadam. So, but their prasadam was like some kind of grain without salt, without spice, they were very raw. And then they said, do we have some kind of sabji also? The sabji was like some boiled potatoes with jaljeera, like they're like seasoning, jaljeera seasoning, and some salad. So somehow they were just, like everything was fine. It was prasad offered with love, but still, when they came back, and then they had that roti, sabji, rice, dal, sweet, and then they were really chanting and praying, Mahaprasade Govinde. So this is the real value of the roti, sabji, rice, dal, different cuisines and prasadam. If we do it every day, we may take it for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt. So we see trees every day. We don't, our houses are built of trees, but how many of us offer gratitude? Thank you, tree, for providing us this house, right? Or every day, so much, the furniture, the flowers, the fruits, the vegetable, the oxygen, right? The shade they're providing. They're providing so much. Never ask for bill, right? Did any tree ask, hey, you have used so many quantities of oxygen or you have used, the builder of the house will ask bill, but the tree never asks anything. Selflessly. Just no giving. So any other thoughts, comments anyone has? Okay. Next verse, text 35. Would someone like to read this?
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa, devotees, and Pram, all wish to Śrī Prabhupada. Text number 35. Etavachanma safalyam dehinam iha dehisu prane parthe ityavacha shriye acharanam sada. Translation and Perpetuum. Disciples of His Divine Grace, Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. Purport. This translation is quoted from Śrīla Prabhupada's Caitanya-caritāmṛta Adi Leela 9.42. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu has, wonderfully, just within one line, they have, communicated the most important. When we do something, if we do it in the bhava of seva, then we get more pleasure than what we are doing for ourselves. That I have experienced myself many times. When I do it for myself, I don't have that much, satisfaction. But when you do it for others, you get 100 times more satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Who is speaking this verse? Can anyone tell?
Krishna.
Yes, Krishna is speaking. And to whom?
To the Gopa boys.
To his friends, to the Gopa boys. Yes, the 10 names also. So basically, Krishna is telling us here how to perfect our lives, or what is the perfection of life, directly from the Lord's mouth. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare for the benefit of others. See, human life is not meant to just live selfishly and what is in it for me, the whole world, right? How I will benefit. Okay, we're not saying to not do activities like, like if one is working, then the first question they will ask, okay, how much I'll get paid. But at least some activity during our day or during our week, we can do purely selflessly. If we can't live that 24/7 like Srila Prabhupada, then we can't artificially impose or copy, but at least some part of our day or some hours of our week, we can tell God, Krishna, that this activity I'm purely doing for no selfish agenda, only to please you, because you are saying here, what is the duty of human beings? I am a human being, right? We say we are human beings. It is duty of every living being. Like think about in the level of consciousness, the trees are not so elevated. Correct? The trees are not so elevated. They cannot move. If an earthquake comes, they cannot move. They will give up their life, but they won't move. But humans are supposed to be less intelligent. Trees are also called jada. Jada means they can't move. They can't move. That's one meaning. Now, if we are supposed to be more intelligent, then we should be doing much more than the tree can do. Correct? To whom much is given, much is expected. Right? A small child, 2-year-old, may not have the resources, may not have the intelligence, may not have even the knowledge to do all these, which what we are talking here. But the Supreme Lord Krishna has given us some ability. What has he given us? Artha, wealth, dhiya, intelligence, vacha, words, right? Body, mind, words, this comes many times. Using our body, using our wealth, using our intelligence, using our whatever skills he has blessed us with, we must use. Not just to fill one's own bank account, but also, or more importantly, for the purpose of welfare of other living entities. This is real stuff. And that's actually real balance. That's actually spiritual bank balance. That will make us dear in the eyes of the Supreme Lord. And if you take the life of any great person, any spiritual leader, any spiritual master, any pure devotee, we will see that they have done enormous amount of selfless activities for the real welfare of others, like Srila Prabhupada. Take the example of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He is having so many bodily challenges, right? So many bodily challenges. Since last 10 or even not last 15 years or so, lot of challenges. But still, non-stop, he is preaching. Every day is giving classes. In spite of unlimited surgeries he has been through, unlimited, very severe situation, life-threatening situations and medical conditions he has been through. Still every day giving classes. Still every day genuinely meeting so many people and showering his love and blessings upon them. This is the quality of great soul. This is the quality which Krishna is telling us to inculcate for our own good. Any other thoughts? Anyone wants to add something here? Any comments?
Yeah, I can say one thing, Prabhuji. I think the idea of selfless service is, and the idea of seva ki bhavna is very important, even in relationships with our near dear ones. Often we see that in friendships, people usually have a transactional nature at workplace, or be it your social setting, friends. But there are very few people who are genuinely well-wishers of you, who are selflessly will love you irrespective of what your position is. And I was listening to this from one of the senior devotees of Iskcon Dwarka on a video lecture, where I think the Guruji was saying about Narendra Modi ji. So he's the Prime Minister of India. He has so much power. So everyone respects him and is near and dear to him because of his company, because of his power. But when he goes back home to his mother does not see him from that perspective of a prime minister. He sees him as his son, as her son. So, sorry, she sees him as her son. So she gives all her blessings and, is genuinely concerned without any selfish interest of any kind. So having such people in your life is very important, who have that selfless feeling of well-wishing and service.
Very true, bro. Thank you. You made a beautiful point. And if we have that, then only we can really help others in Krishna consciousness. So as aspiring Vaishnavas, whenever we are sharing this message with anyone, right? They may be white or black, rich or poor, male or female, 2-year-old or 200-year-old, thin or fat, literate, illiterate. We should not see, like Vishika Prabhu says, we should have this giving mood, that we are there not to ask, but to give genuinely, selflessly. The holy name, the holy prasad, the holy books, or even just a sweet smile, right? If they're not interested in any of those items, maybe in future they will be. At least we can leave a good impression. So thank you. Very nice point, to be always selfless. Thank you, Ashish, for referring that. Let's read the next verse, number 36. Would someone like to read this?
Yeah, I can take it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
No, please go ahead. I do every day. Please go ahead.
Okay, I'll try. Iti pravalasta bakafala pushpa dalo katarai tarunam namra shakhanam madhyato yamunam gataha. Thus, moving among the trees, whose branches were bent low by their abundance of twigs, fruits, flowers, and leaves, Lord Krishna came to the Yamuna river.
Thank you, Ashish Prabhu. So now Krishna has glorified the trees to a great extent. And the interesting thing to note in this verse is the trees whose branches were in abundance of twigs, fruits, flowers, leaves, they were bent low. Very beautiful, right? Namra. If we go back to the verse, they were namra. Bow down, right? That similarly, a person who has real good qualities like humility, tolerance, steadiness, freedom from anger, selflessness, they're always humble and they bow down. They bow down. In Hindi, there's a famous proverb, or samajhdar manushya or gyanvan manushya and or फलदार वृक्ष झुक जाते हैं. झुक जाते हैं. झुक means again bow down. The person laden with good qualities and the trees laden with fruits, they bow down. Those who are too proud, oh, I am not going to bow down. I'm special. I am this. I am that. Guess what happens when the strong winds come? They are the first to be taken away. Similarly, when the winds of tough times come in the lives of those people who, in lives of people, those who have good qualities, they'll bow down. They will navigate properly because of their good qualities like humility, tolerance, selflessness. Nirmama, I'm not the doer. Nirahankara, without sense of I, me, and mine. They're easily able to face the challenges of life. But if someone is puffed up with ego, then they can never, pride comes before the fall. So then they fail miserably in the exams of life or the strong winds of life, which will come in everyone's life, no matter who we are, no matter where we are. But how we deal with them, how we face them is how much internal spiritual qualities we have developed. And we see all these examples, like Prahlad, how he faced challenges. Kunti Maharani, how she faced challenges. Dhruv Maharaj. And on the other side, we also see Duryodhana. But, like classic example of pride. He was very powerful. He was knowledgeable, at least theoretically. He was a good administrator. Everything was good, but pride. Not bowing down before the elders. No selflessness, only selfish spirits. And then ultimately it led to a big fall down. And he was taken away by the forces of righteousness, dharma. So in short, we should always remember that we should bow down. Those who bow down, it's their greatness. Even in a relationship, bow down doesn't mean when we see a senior Vaishnava or Guru, yes, we should definitely bow down. But bowing down also means that, His Grace Gaur Gopal Prabhu says that sometimes in a marriage, the husband and wife may be arguing. Oh, no, it's your mistake. The wife says, no, it's your mistake. Husband says, no, it's your mistake. Right? And if one of them, the mature one, says, you know what, I'm sorry, I did a mistake, right? Guess what? The stress, the anxiety is diluted. So Prabhu mentioned that when we say sorry, it doesn't mean that we were wrong. It means that the relationship is more important than being right. Either we can be right or we can have a higher purpose that, it's not worth fighting over a trivial matter. Who is right, who is wrong? Okay, you win, I lose. You happy, family happy. So, like winning the battle, losing the war, right? It's not important to always be right. It's important to see the higher purpose. Very, very important practical tip for all relationships. God brother, God sister, husband, wife, mother, father, right? Sorry bolne se koi chota nahi ho jata. Right? If we say sorry, it doesn't mean that the person is fool or illiterate or those who say sorry, those who are humble, that's a genuine quality. And it doesn't mean we keep repeating the mistake. If there was a mistake, and we should be sorry. But even if sometimes there is no mistake and then we're sorry, that means there's a higher purpose. Ashish Prabhu's writing in Hindi ka beej ho, apne se agar rishte sambal jate to jhuk jana bata hai. Yes, absolutely. If by bowing down it helps to have healthy relationships, then why not? Absolutely. Any other thoughts, comments here?
So, Prabhuji, there is one famous Bengali saying that we heard repeatedly as a child, that Bhikshu tomar naam ki phale porichoy. Probably you got it. Like people like me who are born and brought up in the city may not know what type of tree, looking at the leaves, but looking at the fruits, we can say, okay, this is a mango tree, jackfruit tree. So that example actually is to always told to us to be a good son, to be good children, so our parents will be respected by others. Like also to be a good devotee, so our Guru Maharaj are respected looking at us. So that is one type of similarity given to this and our responsibilities. just to mention.
Very nice. Very appropriate. Thank you, bro. There's also another proverb that the fruit does not fall far from the tree, right? So like father, like son, like tree, like the fruit. Boya ped babul ka to aam kahan se hue? If you sow a babul or a bitter tree, neem, you can't expect sweet mangoes coming out from there. So as we sow, so shall we reap. So again, babul and neem have their own value too. So we're talking about their branches were bent down or they bowed down. Why? Abundance of qualities. Fruits, leaves in abundance. And Lord Krishna, they were moving among the trees. Krishna, even if you go to a place called Teir Kadam, they have their branches very low, very, very low. I want to show you some pictures of Teir Kadam. Let's see if I can. I just did a quick search. This is a good one. You see this? This is Teir Kadam actually. This is Teir Kadam. Your branches are very low there. You see here, again, looking. A lot of nice pictures again here too, Teir Kadam. When you go to Vrindavan, you see like they're so low. Abundance of qualities. Krishna would tie his lunch bags here on these branches. It's like a hook, right? Sometimes we hang something on the hooks, like clothes or something. So Krishna would carry lunchbox, which Mata Yashoda would prepare, and other friends would also carry their respective mothers on the shoulder, and then they will tie. Since they were not so high, the branches were low, they would easily tie. And Teir Kadam. Teir also means to call out. Teir. Krishna would call out his friends, the cows. It's a very, very sweet place. You all must go. I was fortunate to go when I went to India last time, a few months back. It's on the way to Vrindavan, about it's about 30-40 minutes from Vrindavan. So now he is done with the tree glorification. He's going to the next part of the Leela and comes near Yamuna river. Yamuna Gata. Any other comments before we move on to the next verse?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, just all this talk of abundance of fruits and bowing down made me reflect upon that video you shared of His Holiness Radhanath Swami arriving in Dallas. And I was just struck that at age of, I think, 72 years old, he's greeted by so many devotees, and he gets out of the car and immediately bows down at his age. That's the first thing he does, he just bows down to everybody. I was so amazed by that, and such a great example that someone so famous and accomplished and as him, he just immediately bows down. It's amazing. Hare Krishna.
Yes, that is certainly very nice. And the more one advances spiritually, the more these qualities they get in abundance. And the more they think everyone is superior to me. So, thank you for sharing that, Prabhu. Anyone else before we move on to the next verse? So we should also, whenever we see devotees, we should offer the Vaishnava Pranam mantra and bow down. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, right? Kalpataru. Vaishnavas are called kalpataru. What does it mean? Who will tell? What does it mean of this verse? Who can tell the meaning? Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. So here Prabhu is the Shastri. Prabhuji will tell.
Hare Krishna. Not very. What I think is, Prabhuji, it is like like Bhakti Latabi. It's a divine tree, which helps us in growing our bhakti and offering. That's what I think. It's a divine tree.
And what does this mantra mean? We chant this mantra. What's the meaning of this mantra?
So the Vancha Kalpa. I mean, so what I think is probably wrong. It is, paying obeisances to the Vaishnavas, thinking you are a Vaishnava and, paying obeisances with respects and giving telling that, I offer my obeisances.
Nice.
Of those.
Very nice. Vancha kalpatarubhya. Kalpataru, kalpa vriksha or kalpataru, same thing, right? Taru means vriksha. So they're like desire fulfilling trees. Because devotees can fulfill any desire. They're kalpataru. Whatever vancha, vancha means desire. Vancha, abhilasha, same thing. Vancha kalpataru hyasta. Kripa sindhu. What does kripa mean? Mercy. Sindhu means ocean. The ocean of mercy. Patita nam pavanebhyo. Patita means fallen. And pavan, they are the deliverer. They are the deliverer or the purifier of the fallen. To such Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisance. So that's a little bit word to word. If we speak in one line, we should also know the English. I offer my respectful obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desired trees, who can fulfill all the desires, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. This is the English translation. So their Vaishnavas are kalpataru, vancha kalpataru, desire fulfilling trees. Okay, wonderful. Let's read the next verse, text number 37. Krishna has reached Yamuna. Let's see. Moving around among the trees. And it's also mentioned in Madhya, from within the midst. So he's like going up and down the trees, having a good time, and reaches Yamuna. Let's see, text 37. Anyone would like to read this? Yes, someone can try.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll try, Prabhu. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna Danvat Pranam devotees. Text 37. Tatraga payayin vapa sumrastha sitala siva taton rupa swayam gopa kamam Swadhu Papurjalam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, his disciples ki jai. The cowherd boys let the cow drink the clear cool and wholesome water of the Yamuna. O King Parikshit, the cowherd boys themselves also drank that sweet water to their full satisfaction. Hari Bol Prabhuji, back to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this nice verse. So Krishna has reached Yamuna, which flows in Vrindavan area. And some qualities of Yamuna's water are shared here. Clear, cool, and wholesome. Shitala, Shiva, and Sumrishta. So we can meditate upon, and if we meditate upon anything connected to Krishna, whether it's his friends, whether it's activities, right? Everything is transcendental. Krishna Katha also means Katha of his devotees. Krishna Katha also means Katha of his friends. Krishna Katha also means Katha of Yamuna. So everything here in Bhagavatam is Krishna Katha. So meditating upon Yamuna, Shitala, cool, clear, and wholesome water. Unfortunately, because of industrialization and selfishness of the masses, from an external lens, Yamuna's water is not, if you go in Delhi, in the Vrindavan area, of course, spiritually it's always pure. But nowadays, a lot of people, devotees, are working on, protection of the holy rivers, protection of the holy kundas, etc., water bodies, and have stricter rules to not pollute these sacred rivers and leave something better for the next generation. We should always have this mood that I should not, any place I go, I should leave it better for the next person. If we have this mood, which is what Radhanath Maharaj always says, whether it's a room, whether it's a country, whether it's an office, whether it's a building, whether it's a river, whether it's any holy place, I do something better. That means I make it more cleaner, make it in a better situation than I received it. If everyone has this mood, think the world will change, is it not? The world will be so much different if everyone has that mood. What to speak of everyone, even if 10% of the people, if 5% of the people of the masses develop that mood that let me leave the world or everything in at least 1% better or 0.1% better than what I got. So something about River Yamuna. And so the cows drank the water, wholesome water, clear, cool water. And O King Parikshit, Shukadeva Goswami is telling here to King Parikshit, the cowherd boys also drank that sweet water to their full satisfaction. So now they have in this chapter, they started, Krishna was at the Chir Ghat, right? Then they moved around some trees, and like it just transports us to that Vrindavan, right? What is Krishna doing in the daytime? Okay, then in the middle of the day, he goes and is having like walking around, moving around with the trees, and also glorifying the trees. Oh, look at the trees, they give so much to us, right? And then now they have reached, they're a little tired, they want some cool, refreshing water of Yamuna. Any more thoughts, comments, anyone wants to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just very quickly on what you said on the pollution, I think I think at least 5% or more people have that mood. They just feel powerless. And so they have the mood, but they don't have the inspiration. And that's where Krishna consciousness comes in to give the inspiration. And to me, this is the mechanics of it are simple. It's just the logistics of it are complicated. Because people already have that mood, most people love nature, most people revere nature. They just feel powerless of this system that is sort of going on its own, unchecked. And that's where Krishna comes in. Hare Krishna.
Yes. The harmony of the mind, the heart, and the consciousness will lead to environmental harmony also. Because if there is no harmony inside, how can we expect harmony outside? If there's a lot of pollution inside the heart, how can the environment outside be clean? So you're absolutely correct. Yes, that's where Krishna consciousness is so important. Right? It's not just one-time cleaning, and which may take whatever amount of dollars or rupees. It's the cleaning of the heart. Cheto darpana marjanam. That is the real cleaning required. And if the heart is clean, then naturally the person will be more cognizant of his or her habits, of his or her way of talking, way of eating, way of doing everything, moving around in the world. That it don't become an obstacle, but rather it become a source of joy for others. It don't become a part of the problem, but it become a part of the solution. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else wants to add anything here? Any comments, questions, thoughts, corrections? Okay. Since we have only one verse left, 38 is the last verse of this chapter. So let's go ahead and complete this chapter. Would someone like to read this last verse of chapter 22? Philip, Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji, I can read. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Tasya upavane kamam charayanta pasun nirvam Krishna ramav upagamya shudartha idam abravam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, His disciples Ki Jai. Then, O King, the cowherd boys began herding the animals in a leisurely way within a small forest along the Yamuna. But soon they became afflicted by hunger and, approaching Krishna and Balarama, spoke as follows. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that the cowherd boys were concerned that Krishna would be hungry, and thus they feigned their own hunger so that Krishna and Balarama would make suitable arrangements to eat. Thus ends the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 22nd chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Krishna Steals the Garments of the Unmarried Gopis. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. This is the last verse of chapter 22, text 38, which we just read. Now it's time for lunch, right? And they're afflicted with hunger. Who are afflicted with hunger? Who are, in this verse, who are afflicted by hunger? Anyone?
All the gopas, all the cowherds.
all the cowherd friends of Krishna and Balaram, and that's why they are approaching Krishna and Balaram.
Yeah.
Now, sounds selfish, right? Hey, I'm hungry, give me food. Correct? Sounds selfish. Therefore, Srila Goswami explains in the purport that actually it's not that they were, they wanted to eat food. Therefore, they asked. It's not the reason. What is the reason? The cowherd boys were concerned about Krishna would be hungry. That was their concern. And thus, they failed. Let's see what's the technical meaning of this word. Okay, they simulated, they pretended to be hungry, right? Because Krishna and Balaram, if they say, oh, are you hungry? If our friends would ask, are you hungry? Then Krishna may say or may not say. But if they say, if Krishna understands that the devotees are hungry, then he will do something. And then in that way, we will have a nice prasadam or food together. That was their agenda, right? To serve Krishna, in short. They were concerned for Krishna's hunger, right? Now, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But here, the group of friends are serving him out of love, out of that friendship, rasa, right? If you ask your friend, hey, Philip Prabhu, are you hungry? Shall I get some food for you? I mean, it may, he will not be so comfortable or I'm okay, it's okay, I'm fine, right? Sometimes. But if I say, Philip Prabhu, I'm really feeling very hungry. Shall we have some lunch together? And then he'll become, yes, let's do it, right? I can't stand, I can't, allow you to be hungry. So in that way, this is kind of the way to, like we can relate it better now, right? So that's how the friends are trying to do, because they're friends. They have that not relationship of awe and reverence, but it's, they would feed each other. They would snatch from each other's mouth they would share each other's food. So in short, Krishna's for arranging lunch or food for Krishna, the friends pretended to be hungry. Now what they arranged? Where did they go to get food? How did they get? Did they get or not? All those questions will be answered in the next chapter, which is entitled The Brahmana's Wives Blessed, or the Yajna Patni Blessed. So we will pretty much wrap here for today, and we will continue the next class on Monday. So Friday we won't have, and Saturday, Sunday, so we are out for a Sadhu Sangha event. We are eagerly looking forward. So Philip Prabhu is going, and myself, and I know Shilpa Mataji, Renuka Mataji, Sharnya Mataji, and there are 2,700 devotees from, majority from US, but some from other countries, and I know are also coming. Many Prabhupada disciples, many sannyasis, GBC members, initiating gurus. So this is going to be really very, very nice, amazing ocean of mercy. Like every Vaishnava is Kripa Sindhu. Now, like imagine if thousands of those oceans come together. Oh my God, what will happen? They'll flood the whole world with their bhakti, their love, their selflessness. So we will resume the Bhagavatam reading from Monday. Yeah, before we wrap up, any thoughts, comments, or questions from today's reading? Okay, Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavrindi ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyaiva cha Pattanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada, Hare Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.